So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add one full wrap of light blue center tail Lady Amherst right in front of the crystal flash. And what I like to do with all my feathers, whether it's the Amherst, the ostrich, rhea, I like to peel it off of the feather so that I can wrap it instead of using a dubbing loop. And one good tip is to place some of these small elastics that people use for their braces so that you can put it over top of your last step and keep it out of your way, keep it from fouling with the new materials that you're adding. So now I'm going to tie in the Amherst here. You want it to sit so that it lays on nice and even. Wrap that forward a little bit. Now I'm just going to take the feather and wrap it around one whole time. Alright, so now I'm going to take my black ostrich, which I've again peeled off the main stem of the plume. I do like to use rhea, but if you can find this finer ostrich, then it works just as well. It's just not as stiff as the rhea itself. Now I'm going to tie this in directly behind our Amherst wrap, and I'll probably end up doing 1.5 wraps with the ostrich. I don't like to overdress these flies. I like to keep that silhouette, that translucent silhouette that really lights up from the inside with the flash and the polar bear. Alright, so now once we've got that attached, we can go ahead and palmer this on. Again, I think we'll stop here at 1 wrap of ostrich. Keep that nice translucent profile. Avoid overdressing these flies. It's very easy to get busy with the materials, and all of a sudden you lose that translucence that you were working on getting with the polar bear and the flash on the inside of the fly. We want to keep that umbrella type profile, but we don't want to overdress it. So once I secure that, I can trim off excess. Alright, now we'll take another one of our elastics. Keep all of our materials out of our way from the previous steps. And now we're going to select a couple of chartreuse hackle feathers. like to keep as long as possible. You can always trim them back to length, and again the length will be about as long as the Amherst. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach a couple of chartreuse grizzly hackle feathers here. As you can recall, the Joker has chartreuse hair. So we're going to do them symmetrical, one on each side, of course. Now I'm going to prepare a dubbing loop for a red seal fur head. A little bit of dubbing wax to help our materials stick to the dubbing loop. Now we'll just tease this red seal fur into small, sparse little clumps, and we'll place them in our dubbing loop. We want to keep long fibers so that we get that nice textured look to the head, or the seal fur, that is. Alright, do the spin. Alright, now we're ready to wrap this forward to create the last little part of our Joker color scheme here. Going to secure that. And I tend to just use one color of thread when I tie these flies, and it's usually the color of thread that goes with the material I'm using for the head. So in this case, more of a fluorescent red to complement the red of the seal fur. Like I said before, if you use too much, you can just salvage it after you're done. Now I'm just going to do a few wraps here, clean up the front end, and we'll add a whip finish. I usually like to add a couple of whip finishes before I add my cement. And we'll add our cement, and once it's dried, we'll primp the fly and make sure it looks good. To get a little bit of that cement to wick into the seal fur, just helps to secure the head. Now we'll just allow that to dry.